much for clicking on the video. My name is Leah, and we're going to recap and review Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. This is season 12, episode 8. And all I can say is I'm sick of Diana. Oh, hellful. I can't stand that lady. I cannot stand that lady. But we're going to talk about it. Before we get into the review, if I have something to talk about that is salacious or drama-filled and it goes with the review and I don't feel like doing a video by itself, I'll bring it to you. So today we're going to talk about Lisa, Rinna, and Diana getting on the internet and showing their geriatric asses for no reason. For no reason. Like, legitimately for no reason. Like, no one asked you to do this. No one prompted you to do this. You just did it just because you got in your feelings. And like old girls say, if shots are fired and these bullets agree with you, it's on you. You learn to duck. Learn to duck. So Garcelle was on Watch What Happens Live last night after Real Housewives of Beverly Hills ended. And Andy asked her several questions. The first question, I think, was about Crystal and Sutton's situation. Like, did she believe Crystal? And Garcelle basically said, no, I think she was lying. And then there was a question about Diana versus the black content creator, Philly Diva, and the whole, like, it can't feel great being a black blogger. And Garcelle pretty much said, I think Diana is just uneducated. So Diana didn't take too kindly to that and got in her feelings. And this is what she decided to bring to us, which further to me, you know what? We'll read it and then I'll let y'all know what it is. And then she tagged everybody in this post except Garcelle, even though it was Dear Garcelle. But this is what Diana had to say. She said, Dear Garcelle, next time you go on national television, why don't you educate viewers on how many times I went to Haiti, your home country? Why don't you tell them how many planes full of first aid and medical supplies I sent to Haiti? Why don't you tell viewers how many millions of dollars I have given to your country? A woman from Bosnia did that. Also, you could have mentioned all the money I have given and everything I have done for women's rights in Congo and other 100% black communities. You are very familiar with all the work I have done for human rights all around the globe. And then she said, she captioned it, P.S. Crystal is not a liar. So I have 3 things that is wrong with this statement. Number 1, why does this lady need to know what you have done? And you've told us numerous times, I don't like bragging on myself. So this is a brag in and of itself. As well as, man, we know people, especially people like you, when y'all do charitable contributions, it's for a tax write-off. It's not for coming from the goodness of your heart or because you see people that are in bondage or that are destitute or that are at a disadvantage. So you can miss me with that, Diana or Slava, whatever her real name is. Number 3. The whole a Bosnian woman did that basically reads to me as a black woman, oh, a white woman did that, so what could you done? Or that's your country, your home country, what have you done for them? That's the energy that is giving, and you can't tell me no different. So you you can miss me with that. And number 3, it's so interesting that you were able to capitalize black content creator, but when you put black communities, it's lowercase. But you didn't know what you was doing when you was being a racist asshole. Okay, Diana. Okay, lady. Okay. Okay, I see you. Miss 8675309. I see it. So then we gonna get to Miss Lisa Rinna. So then Lisa Rinna found herself trying to like back up Diana when it's like there was no need for this. And the only thing I can think about why Lisa Rinna did this is because she wasn't featured on the episode. We got like a 10-second blurb of Lisa Rinna talking to like Dorit and Kyle on FaceTime, and she was naked in the tub. They saw her titties, and then she was like fake motioning the camera down so they could see her, like her whole body naked in the tub. Honestly, I just think Lisa Rinna is just talking out the side of her neck because she still wants people to talk about her. And she feels like this is the most controversy she can get for not being a part of the episode. So why not say this? And why not get the people talking? Because it got the people talking. So Lisa Rinna hopped on her IG live and she said this: "We fight on our show. If we fight with Garcelle, all of a sudden we are called racist. That's bullshit. I will not accept that. I will express myself when and how I want, and I'm not afraid of any of you hoes." Basically referring to the viewers. Then she came back and finished it with, "And if you are just so triggered by our show, and a lot of you pussies are, go watch Dubai." So a lot of people took issue with that. I just honestly think Lisa Rinna is just talking at the side of her neck because nobody was talking about her this episode, because she wasn't featured on the episode. And I think Lisa Rinna's insecurities are creeping up, because honestly, without her being on this episode, I didn't miss her, nor did I realize she was really gone. And when she popped up on the FaceTime on with the girls, I was like, oh, okay, there she go. Other than that, she wasn't needed, nor was she missed. And I just think that's why she's doing this. The whole go watch Dubai, I just think she said that because it's a cast full of women of, well, I say, yeah, color. You got black women, you have Middle Eastern women. The only person that is not of color is Caroline Stansberry. But I also think she did that because their fights aren't as serious. But there was no need to bring in Dubai, like the Nene meme. Why am I in this? Because they ain't done nothing to you, nor have you had conversations with them ladies. But go on somewhere, Lisa. Go on somewhere. I forgot to mention this, but Garcelle did respond, and this is what she put on her story. She said, "Remaining classy and removing yourself from situations that might take you out of your character is a superpower." By Garcelle. If they want to go low, you go to the pits of hell. We not doing the hoe when they go low, you go high. No, we go to the pits of hell. Don't play with me, Garcelle. You better let them ladies know who you are. Don't let them play you, girl. See, could be me. Okay, y'all. So we open up this episode and we see Garcelle and Cherie meeting up at the park and just catching up. I was excited to see Cherie, mainly because I've been introduced to her before through the show Hollywood Exes, and I really enjoyed her on that show. If you don't know what Hollywood Exes is, it was like a reality show on VH1, and it had like Andrea Kelly, who is R. Kelly's ex-wife, Prince's ex-wife, Eddie Murphy's ex-wife, Nicole Murphy, Jose Canseco's ex-wife, and then Cherie was on there. And I really liked them all. Like, well, I didn't like everybody. I ain't even about to sit here and lie. My main favorites was really Cherie, and I like Nicole Murphy before the whole scandal, and, you know, her doing what she did to that lady husband. Okay? If you know, you know. But they're talking and they're catching up about, you know, we found out Cherie had a little boo thing that she got stuck with during the beginning of the panorama, and how, like, you know, she had to give him a ball to go play because she was tired of him being around. We then talk about her co-parenting with Will Smith, and Garcelle saying how she wanted to mirror her relationship after that with her ex-husband, with her boys, and they pretty much have that. And she appreciated her for, like, you know, allowing them to like see that and things of that nature. And then they talk about her birthday party. I'm actually surprised that Garcelle is turning 55. Like, no lie, I really thought Garcelle was between the age of like 48 and 50. And I mean, she looked good. She looked really good, but I didn't think she was that old, like in her mid 50s, but she looked great. So we then transition to Crystal's house, and she's doing a TikTok with her housekeeper. They're like making drinks, like seasonal drinks. And then we see her brother. We find out that he was over in China for like a whole entire year working on his album. I think it's so crazy how, like, in China he is probably like a celebrity, like a hardcore celebrity, but here he's just a regular dude. And I wonder, like, I don't know, like, do you just go over there just to like have everybody on you? But I would like to listen to his music. Like, I don't really listen to Chinese pop. I do listen to K-pop. I got a few bands I go up for. You know, I love me some Monsters X and me some Wonho. Okay? Wonho. If you know, you know, because that's a fine man. Wonho is a fine man. Woo! The definition in the Mab show. But they're just talking. He's been gone for a while working on his album. So then we see Crystal's husband Rob pop in. We hear that he's working on a movie. I guess it was like a Christmas play or like a children's story back in England, and they're turning it into a play. They were then going off the word about Norfolk. And I'm just like, they all thought he was saying the F word. But as someone who grew up in like Southern Virginia, Norfolk is what we just say Norfolk. Like that's all we say Norfolk. You got Suffolk, Norfolk, Chesapeake, Hamptons. You got Old not is Old Old Dominion is in Hampton. But like we just all we say is like you have Norfolk State University. Shout out to all my HBCUs. But like I got a few friends that go to Norfolk State. You just say Norfolk. So I was kind of like laughing that they could not say like they thought he was saying the F word, and I was like, it's just Norfolk. Like I don't know. Maybe it's the accent. I don't know. And then they ask her about her brother Jeff and Rob ask her about Mexico, and she talks about how Diana basically had the same experience she had the first time she was with the ladies, and they were like, Diana doesn't do pretty well being poked, she just goes nuclear. And I was like, okay, she goes nuclear. And then we transition to Kyle's house. We see Kyle is helping Alexia with her Friendsgiving. And I was surprised because they were basting a whole turkey. I said, girl, that's a different types of Friendsgiving. Because when we have Friendsgiving, the last Friendsgiving I met, I don't think we had a turkey. I think we had, like, someone had already carved it, but we didn't have a full turkey. So I was just kind of like, okay, y'all doing it up. Excuse me. Mauricio comes in the kitchen while she's in there with Alexia and Kyle. And Kyle asks Mauricio, like, oh, are you coming to Garcelle's party? Because, it's her birthday and she always thinks so highly of you. And he was like, oh, I have to make sure I have, like, time to go. And he was like, who's going? And Kyle's like, I think everyone's going except Diana. So then they talk about this text Diana sent. Diana was just being a passive-aggressive asshole, where she basically said, like, we end up finding out she has the miscarriage. She had to give birth to the baby. She had been bleeding for 8 weeks, and the doctor had to save her uterus. But they told her she needed to be on bed rest. But, if I don't tell y'all this, I think Garcelle would think I was rude. And she spelled Garcelle's name wrong. And it seems like she did it purposely. And Rinna is the only one out of everybody who was reading the text message. Like, she loved it. Like, everybody else was kind of like, even Diana's friend Crystal was like, that was awkward. Like, I was just like, Diana, you was being passive aggressive. And this whole, like, I was being direct. No, you were being a passive aggressive asshole, girl. So go on somewhere. So then we get a scene with Erica, and she's doing her pretty mess extensions. The lady who did her extensions did a good job. I actually like this scene of Erica. She talked about her grandma. I don't think ever, like, since Erica has really been on, she's ever shared this information about her grandmother. But she was talking about how, like, she's using Pretty Mess to basically build up back her wealth. Because, with all the court cases and the headlines, she was like, a lot of businesses that she was working with kind of just let her go. They just kind of pushed her to the side and didn't too much care about her. And was just like, yeah, girl, we're not touching that. We're not touching you. So she's using her Pretty Mess hair extensions to, like, support herself. And then she talked about her grandma being a great sewer because one of the assistants was sewing something on her outfit, because she was basically doing promotional shoot, like, pictures or a promotional shoot for the advertisement for the hair extensions. And we get the story about how she was a great sewer, and she was really in love with her garden, and how, like, she said if her grandma was here now, she was like, she would have told me, don't you give up and don't you let them people see you sweat. Like, there's no reason to give up. And then she showed this letter that she wrote to her grandmother, because her grandma actually helped her move to Los Angeles, and she basically said, I love you so much, but this is the last time you're gonna see me. Basically saying she ain't going back to Georgia. So I was like, okay, this cute. It was nice. I mean, I don't think sometimes I can take Erica when she has these moments, because it's like, even though she can just be a lot, she's still human. Like, there's duality in everybody. So I did like hearing this part about her, and her, like, talking in her, like, caricature Southern accent. It was cute. It was cute. So then we have a scene with Sutton and Dorit. So Dorit invited Sutton over to her house. We get to see her mom. Dorit's mom is so pretty. And Sutton is eating cookies that her mom made. She made something with jalapenos. I probably would like to try that. We find out that a lot of her family came over once they heard about what happened with the break-in. And they just sat down, and Sutton and her just sat down outside and they talked. We find out that Sutton is getting testosterone put in her body to like even out her hormones. And in my mind, that kind of makes sense why Sutton ain't been crying a lot. Like, we've seen Sutton like cry a little bit after, but like I think she has been pretty even, and not like, she's had moments where she could get elevated and be high strung and be a little chaotic, but for the most part she's been pretty tamed, and it probably is because of that testosterone pellet that she's been getting done by the doctor. But I think people don't understand that your body needs testosterone and estrogen, and that those hormones do help equal your body out or balance you out pretty much. I thought it was funny when Dorit put on her shades because she didn't believe Sutton. And I said, Dorit, take them shades off. So Dorit asked Sutton about how she feels about Crystal. Sutton said, me and Crystal are pretty good. And then she said, Dorit was like, how do you feel about Diana? And Sutton said, I don't like that one right there. And I said, I don't blame you. And then they talk about... They basically talk about how the whole thing on the plane, how Sutton was like, I got on the plane, and when I got on the plane, she told me basically to sit somewhere else, and Rinna took my spot. And then Dorit confirmed in her confessional that she was just like, she said we could sit anywhere. And I was like, yeah, like that was rude. That was rude. But I'll give Diana like 1 point in a sense of saying that, well, if she didn't want her to sit by her, it's understandable. But the way Diana spoke, she ain't had to be like that. So then Sutton also talks about how she don't like the way that Diana spelled Garcelle's name wrong. She was like, you're not going to do my friend like that. Like, that's not what we doing, sis. That's just not what we doing. So pretty much... Sutton says she on her list. Okay, so now we're gonna transition to Garcelle's birthday party. We actually had a scene before that where Garcelle went home, and we got to see her older son Oliver, one of the twins, and her nephew, and they had like a cute moment about how like good of a job she did raising him. Excuse me, and I thought it was sweet. Because remember on season 1, she talked about her son having issues with substance abuse. But to see him now with his wife and his son and being a stepdad, I think that's great to see how well he's doing. We then see a scene of Sutton and Kyle on the phone, and they're like getting their hair done and doing their whole glam. And Sutton basically said, they're both talking about like wondering if Diana's gonna come. And Sutton was like, I texted her and told her to be nice. Like, if you come and be nice. And I said, Sutton. Sutton was not here for Diana. When I tell you Sutton was not here for her, Sutton was not here for Miss Diana. And I was down for the ride. So then it's Garcelle's 50th birthday. I liked her outfit. 55th birthday. I liked her outfit. I liked the whole white. I just wish the poofs on the sleeves were a lot toned down. I just thought that was a bit much. I thought Kyle looked great in that whole black outfit. When Sutton said, I didn't know we was wearing like nightgowns or pajamas. She did look really pretty. I thought Sutton's outfit was cute. I think the only person's outfit I really didn't like was Erica's. I think it was just too much leopard because she had on leopard boots, the leopard dress. I was like, I needed something to like break it up. But I thought Dorit looked good. I thought Crystal looked nice. Yeah, for the only person in the outfit that I was just like, I guess was Erica. So, and Erica is holding steadfast to this whole I'm a drunk storyline. She need to cut it out. But it's Garcelle's birthday. Sutton had me dying because when I tell you Sutton with her biblical references had me weak. And that's mainly because I'm a product of that. Like both sides of my family, my mom and my dad's side are heavily in the church. Like I have cousins that are a part of the praise and worship ministry. I have a grandmother that is a pastor, aunts and uncles who are deacons and deaconesses. So it's like I know about that life. So all the references she was making had me weak, and it took me back to my childhood when I would see the mothers of the church or people in church in general arguing, but not trying to cuss, but being just as nasty, using biblical shade. And that's what Satan gave me. And when I tell you I lived for it, I lived for it. I did. So Erica went up to Sutton and she was like, oh, I didn't really know what to get Garcelle. I was going to call you. And then when Sutton was like, oh, I must be packing my bags and hell must have froze over because the Lord is coming back. I said, not her referencing the rapture. And then all of a sudden Diana pops up. Diana popped up looking like a demon. Let me get on my nerves, old feathery heifer. And what her husband had on was ugly. Like, you can definitely tell that she wears the pants in the relationship, because I'm like, there's no way that man agreed to wear that fedora with that overgrown bomber jacket with fur on it. It was ugly and it looked hot. They both look hot. You know what? They look, what's that movie? That Black Swan. Is it called Black Swan? They look like dying swans. That's what they look like. She had too much. She had the feathers up here. He had the feathers over his jacket. It was ugly. And I was like, why are we wearing this when it seems like it's pretty hot or humid where y'all are in California? Like everybody else had on like dresses and like we're wearing really flowy things, and here y'all come with this mess. Just evil spirit, okay? So I died when Sutton said, Jesus heals, because the whole thing with the whole text that Diana sent was like, I had a miscarriage, which is unfortunate, and I was bleeding for 8 weeks. They had to save my uterus. I had to give birth to a stillborn, and the doctor told me I need bed rest. So it's kind of like, why did you come? Why did you come? If you were going to give that text in general, what was the point of you coming? To have a chip on your shoulder, like Garcelle said, to be like, well, even though I was going through all of that, I came to your birthday. Nobody wants you there, lady. Nobody wants you there. So she came, and the only reason she came is like she wanted to rub it in Garcelle's face. But the funny thing is that she brung the book, The Room 23, and I was like, no one wants that book. As well as like, you defeated your purpose because your attitude already showed that you came there to be with the drama and with the shits. Because she walked into the party and was like, it's dead in here. Or she said something about dead indeed. Like she already kind of felt like it's going to be dead anyway, so let me come and liven it up. Like, that's what Diana gives, that like she feels like she has main character energy, and it's really given like subpar character. Like, you're not even a side character. You're the people all the way in the background that nobody even notices. Like, cut it out, lady. So I laughed at the way Sutton was like scowling out at Diana when she walked in. Sutton was like, you here? Okay. Sutton really had like, she better not come in here and act a fool, because I'm gonna get it together. We then see Erica and Crystal talking about how Erica's out here dating, and her lawyer says she wanted to vet the people. Crystal asked about the cases and or how Erica's doing as it pertains to the court cases, and Erica says, things are getting better, but it's not over. We then get to this part where Oliver and his younger brother are like walking around and like introducing themselves to all the ladies. Crystal and Erica think Oliver is cute, and I think he is handsome, but more so on Erica's part, Erica was kind of doing a little too much, where she's like, ooh, that's something I like. I said, Erica, that's your friend's son. Don't be stupid. As well as Oliver has a baby with a whole nother woman. I think he married to that lady. So calm down. So then for Diana to be like so humble, we get this scene with Mauricio, Kyle, and Diana and her plus one. And she has this bag that's worth $250 million. And I'm just like, you're so humble, but you're doing this. But what really got me is the whole Birkin thing, where it was during the time where it was all of those horrible cross-country fires or wildfires that were happening in California, like that one fire that took out Camille's whole entire home. And I guess Diana said she got a lot of flack because she had there was a picture circulating of her putting all her Birkins in the back of an SUV and like, I guess, diamonds. as her as like their neighborhood was on fire. So people didn't take too kindly to that. And granted, I understand that people are like, well, Birkins have value, like you can sell those and stuff like that. But you could have saved your Birkins. There was no need for you to take a picture. It's like everybody says, everything ain't meant for the internet. Like there was no need for you to post that. And when you think about it, a lot of people have lost everything. The same people who are in your tax bracket has lost their Birkins, have lost family photos, have lost their homes. So there was really no need for her to post that picture. And she thought it was cute. And I said, for someone who says she don't like to brag about herself, you sure don't know how to be humble and know when to shut the hell up, lady. I don't like that lady. I don't. So then the conversation about vaginas came up because Cherie pops in. Cherie comes, her and Sutton are hugging. They sit down and she shares this thing about how she got in tune with herself, i.e., touching oneself. And then Erica brings up about like the whole PK drama where PK was staring at Erica's vagina back when Lisa Vanderpump was on there. And Dorit looked annoyed. Like she looked like, why are you bringing this up? And then they kind of like shut it down. PK came over there. They all laughed about it and they moved on. But Dorit's energy gave very much like, really, Erica? Like, why bring this up again? And I said, girl, I don't know if you want it with Dorit. I don't know if you want it with her. So then everybody's dancing on the dance floor. I was like, this is how I know this is a black event because they did a Soul Train line. I said, any birthday party I've been to and the person is like 45 plus, there's always a Soul Train line. I just was like, that is for the generation that was born in the 70s, in the 60s, like, or even the 50s, like that's their niche. Like they're gonna get a Soul Train line going and you better walk your behind down that aisle. So we're about to get into Miss Sutton and Miss Diana and Miss 8675309. So let's get into it. So Sutton pulls Diana over to the side. And y'all, I'm going to just have my notes in my hand so y'all going to see me because it was a lot going on. So Sutton pulls Diana to the side. Sutton asks Diana, like, girl, what are you doing here? Like, you were saying that you were on bed rest, but now you're here. I'm a little confused. And then Diana in her confessional is like, do I need a doctor's note? And I said, yeah, hell you do. For you to, like, make that text about how you was bleeding to death. They had to save your uterus and you shouldn't have been on a trip. And you didn't want people to think you were rude, i.e. Garcelle, whose name you spelled wrong. So I was just kind of like, yeah, girl, if you would have never sent that message, we wouldn't be having this situation right here, Miss 8675309. So then Sutton was like, I do understand what you're going through. I've had 2 miscarriages. And then Diana's like, that's not the same thing. Have you ever birthed a dead baby? And Sutton was like, no, but I know what it feels. And then all of a sudden Diana started making faces like, being mad childish and lame. So then Diana again threatens to headbutt Sutton. And I would have been like, honestly, I'd been like, do it then. I'd have been like, do it. And when I tell you to do it, I'm going to sue you for everything you got. And you're going to be living underneath a bridge in a cardboard box. You keep playing with me, you old hoe. Because that's what Diana was doing. She was doing too much. I was like, this is the second time you have threatened to headbutt this lady. Like the second time. Now, if she wants to sue you for threatening her, let's go for it, sis. Like, stop playing these games. Yo, ooh, she a brute. She is a brute. So then, Sutton is like, okay, I get it, Miss Bosnian tough girl. I said, come on, Sutton. So then, Diana said Sutton is boring and fake. And I said, that's all you could come up with. And then Sutton's like, I'm not boring, but okay. And, Diana says, I was trying to be real with you and Garcelle when we were on the boat. But you know what? I realized it was fake and y'all had no empathy for me. And I was like, because Sutton tried to like relate to you by sharing the story about how her father took himself out and how you feel like you can't say goodbye. She has no empathy. Like, I could get that she felt like, okay, Sutton was doing too much talking in that moment, or like she could feel that way. But to say she had no empathy when she was trying to empathize, I was like, okay, Diana, you just don't like her. You really just don't like her. So then Sutton is like, girl, you're projecting. Because, like, That's not what it was. I was being real genuine and real with you. So out of nowhere, Robert, which is, I guess, not Sutton, but Garcelle's like assistant or friend, tells Garcelle like they are going at it, and Diana is like reading Sutton down. So Garcelle is like, no, not on my birthday party. So Garcelle and Kyle pop up, and Sutton's like, no, I just want to have this conversation by myself. Everything's okay. But they both sit down. So they keep talking, and Garcelle was kind of like, I just feel like you rude. And no, Diana was like, what's your problem with me, Garcelle? And Garcelle said, there's no problem. I just think you're rude and you have a chip on your shoulder. And then Garcelle was like, that's just how I feel. And then Diana's like, I'm rude. I'm like, she just told you you're rude. Do you not get that? Is that not in your brain, sis? So then this is when Sutton got another point for me. Because Sutton got a point for me when Sutton got multiple points in this situation when she called her 8675309. But the first point for me was she told Diana, oh, that bed rest did you good. I said, come on, Sutton, come on. I said, oh, okay. So she said, oh, that bed rest did you good, because this is a totally different Diana than what I've met. So then Diana said, yeah, and I don't like, and just like you're a bacon eating vegetarian. And I loved how Garcelle said, what does that have to do with anything? Then Kyle, with her drunk ass, gonna chime in talking about, well, I think she's just saying it kind of makes question of like who you really are. Okay, she shared that, like, this is my thing. If Sutton says she eats bacon but she's vegetarian, how is she fake when she gave that information up front? It would be fake for you not to know that, and she would be like, yo, no, I'm totally a vegetarian. I don't eat bacon. I'm just like, but to act like her saying she eats bacon and she's a vegetarian that questions all of her integrity, that's a reach. Like, y'all are reaching over the sun. Like, that made no sense to me. So then Diana says, I know Sutton is frail and old, and that's when Garcelle was, that's like a shitty thing to say, like you didn't have to say that. And then she's like, Diana's like, are you her bodyguard, Garcelle? Are you her mouthpiece? And Garcelle's like, no, she can take care of herself. And then that's when Diana says, I know Sutton is old and frail. And Garcelle said, you know what, you're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. And she was like, it's my birthday, you're not gonna ruin it, I'm gonna get up. If I was Garcelle, I would have kicked Diana out. I'd have called security and been like, you can get out and you can take your raggedy birthday present with you. Don't nobody want that damn book anyway, you old leather lip heffing hoe. Ugh, I don't like that lady. I do not like that lady. Like, you can tell something wrong with her. Something is legitimately wrong with Diana. So then Sutton's like, yeah, I'm done with this. I don't want to talk to you. I already got your number, Miss 8675309. And she was like, you're an asshole. And then at first I didn't know what that meant, because I do know the song, but I wasn't born in the 80s. I'm a 90s kid. So I was just kind of like, okay, what does that mean? But then on Twitter, they broke it down to me that like 8675309 is basically like a number for a call girl. So I said, oh, you calling her a prostitute, Sutton? And then I'm like, okay, Sutton did her research. Because she's basically saying, like, I know you. I know your card. I know what you linked to, Miss 8675309. And I said, you better do it, Sutton. Come on, Sutton. So then she tries to, like, get up. And Kyle's like, no, Sutton, let's finish the conversation. And I'm like, Kyle, go on somewhere. Go find your husband to do splits over and all of that stuff. Like, if she want to leave the conversation, she can leave the conversation. So then Erica, we see, because she is committing to being drunk, asks the bartender to get her another drink. We then see Garcelle talk about Denise and how she's upset and her feelings are kind of hurt that Denise didn't show up. But I feel like Garcelle's just mad she got egg on her face, that she said that Denise was going to show up and Denise declined. And it's understandable because Denise don't fool with them people, nor do she like them. And I was just kind of like, girl, just take your L, Garcelle. Take your L. You should have never brung her up if you knew she really would. Like, if you didn't have definite, like, proof that she was going to come. Like, it just seemed like she probably said, oh, I might show up, but she didn't show up. I did think Erica was doing too much with her drunk self, calling Garcelle, like, a punk ass and saying that, like, you letting her, like, F you 3 times. Don't let her run over you. And I was just like, okay, Erica, breathe. Like, take a moment. Take a moment, lady. Chill out for a minute. So then we get back to Kyle and Kyle, Garcelle, it's Kyle, Sutton, and Diana, and they're sitting down, and Sutton is just like, I don't want to deal with this no more. And she was like, you are a soulless person, and I don't want to deal with you. And then Kyle's like, hey. And I'm like, all right, you don't shut up with your drunk self and go on somewhere, because you didn't say nothing when that lady called Sutton old and like frail and old. You didn't hear her, you didn't say nothing when she called her boring. You didn't say nothing when she called her frail and old. So I'm like, so she can't say she's soulless, because Sutton knows something ain't right with her spirit. So then Diana says, you want a new villain? You want a new villain? I said, okay, flop central. Because it didn't hit the way it hit in the trailer. Because I'm like, Diana, you're just picking on Sutton because you think she's an easy target, and because most of the girls that you're cool with don't like Sutton. You really don't have any reason not to like Sutton. Now, granted, should Sutton have yelled at Diana when they were at the table? But Diana came for Sutton first when she had that sit down when they were in Palm Springs, and she said, like, I haven't known Sutton for a long time, but I can tell she's very clumsy with her words. Like, that was a dig, lady. So, like, you trying to be like, oh, she is annoying. Diana is annoying, and she don't need to be on my TV screen no more. Like, let her be a one-season wonder, and we get somebody new. Because she's not that girl. She not it, and I don't want to see her no more. But yeah, y'all, that is it. That is all. Remember to be bravely authentic. Drop down in the comments below and give me your thoughts. Deuces.